Today in Sports Report, football, the national team of Kazakhstan held a friendly match with Burkina Faso. Paralympic, the Kazakhstani sportsman comes back to the motherland with medals. The game number 1, the goals of the Kazakhstani footballers in legendary arenas of the world. The national team of Kazakhstan, for the first time in its history, met with a team of Burkina Faso. In a pre-match press conference, the mentor of the national team of our country, Joly talked about how to win, and it is good to improve the rating of the national team and catch the 5th basket during the draw of the following selection in the World Championship. From the first minutes in the staff of the national team of Kazakhstan, Bakatilov, Mali, Nurgaliyev, Gurman, Bizbekov, Nurserbayev, Shomko, Abdulin, Zhukov, Smakov, and Konisbayev appeared on the field. In the staff of opponents, there were the best representatives of the national championship and legionnaires performing in the top European countries who couldn't come to the friendly match. Drissa Traore performs as a coach of the team Burkina Faso, so the head tutor of the national team of the Germans, Gernot Rohr, couldn't come to Kazakhstan. Thanks for the Kazakhstani team for this match. As I see, our styles are the same. The game was exciting enough. We liked your country very much. We were met friendly, and this match became a good experience for us. In the debut match, both sides couldn't bring it to the severity of the gate, and the Kazakhstani footballers created the first dangerous moment in the 13th minute. Azat Nurgaliyev was not tall enough to close the pass of Ulan Konisbayev. Then Konisbayev himself made a dangerous shot to the gates of the opponent. The guests in general attacked in counterattacks, but they couldn't realize their moments as well. The speed of the first 45 minutes was fast enough, but it was clear that the guests needed a connecting link in the center of the field, and Baojan Islamkhan didn't appear at the start in the field. Konisbayev tried hard. The Kazakhstani forward created much acuteness, but an accurate shot was not reached. Athletic and tall opponents replayed Kazakhstan in the second stage, and in these moments, Hiznichenko was needed, who had been marked in the applicant for the game. Konisbayev missed a real chance. He couldn't trick the goalkeeper of the guests. In the second half of the match, the picture of the game didn't change much. The Kazakhstanis went forward, and the opponents relied on counterattacks. Smakov hung from the penalty well, but the kick of Konisbayev was not accurate. Krasnozhan releases Islamkhan, and the captain of Almaty Kairat try to sharpen the game for Kazakhstan. Numerous attacks not often completed with accented kicks, and there were a few dangerous moments. Corners didn't bring dividends to the wards of Krasnozhan, as it was difficult to replay the guest on the second floor. Later, Alexei Shetkin, Timur Dosmangambetov, Sergei Hiznichenko, and Sanat Zhumankhanov appeared in the field. Those substitutions didn't bring any fruits for the national team of Kazakhstan. The guest defense was successful enough, and the power of the guest on the field visibly melted. As a result, the match ended with a score 0-0, and we should note that on corner kicks, the national team of Kazakhstan completely replayed its opponent. The team of Krasnozhan had 12 of them, while the team Burkina Faso couldn't earn any.
Разочарование, огорчение, то, что игра не привела к победе. Неплохая игра, не привела к победе.
There is disappointment and frustration as the game didn't bring a win. It is not bad, but without a win. In the first time, the game was not good in the center of the field. There was a game in attack. It was sharp enough with a good entry into the penalty and accurate. And the second time, success in the center of the field disappeared. The task to combine these components was not realized. I think we needed some freshness because the team of the opponent looked more athletic and powerful. National team of Kazakhstan has difficult matches in the framework of a selection round of the Championship of Europe ahead, and the team will show how much the experience of the friendly game will help our domestic footballers. Paralympic team of Kazakhstan returned with medals of World Games IBSA, which is organized by the International Sports Federation for the Blind. 11 sportsmen in 4 types of sport presented the Paralympic team: swimming, track and field, judo, and chess. just over 4 days of the competitions, our athletes won 3 silver and 1 bronze medal. The national team of Kazakhstan performed well in this tournament. I'd like to note that in such a number, our national team is leaving for the first time. The Kazakhstani sportsmen were presented in 4 types of sport. According to the results of 4 days of competitions, Anwar Akhmetov won 2 silver medals in the distance of 50 meters breaststroke and the same in butterfly. Also, the Kazakhstani sportsmen brought bronze to the team in a distance of 50 meters in backstroke. I have good impressions. The competitions are good. The competitors are nice and strong. I think I performed well. I didn't let our country down. Everything is clear with the medals I have won. Islam Salimov performed at a distance of 200 and 400 meters. And also in the long jump. He had to perform in several disciplines in the same day, but despite that, Islam could win a silver medal in the long jump, demonstrating a good result.
Не получилось показать личного результата, то есть большого результата, так как в легкой атлетике.
I couldn't perform personal results, as in the track and field we perform in an outdoor stadium. The weather was not so good, so that didn't give an opportunity to show the best result. I think these circumstances prevented not only me, but my rivals too. It happened so that I won a prize.
Моим соперником, и так получилось, что я занял призовое место.
Maghjan Nurlibayev, together with a guide leader, Yerlan Ibrahimov, participated in running for 100 and 200 meters. Taking into consideration that Maghjan had to get used to a partner, the results for the start of the season are not bad, although some decline in comparison with the February starts was noticeable.
Сыграл тот факт, что, наверное, то, что в один день.
The fact that I had several disciplines in the same day played its role. I won second place in the long jump, then running for 200 and 400 meters. It was difficult. It was not easy to perform in one type and more difficult to perform in 3 types. I performed for the first time in such a mode.
В один день 3 вида сделать намного сложнее, и вообще первый раз я это так делал, то есть выступал.
Bizan Gibirtayev in the class T12, Maghjan Nurlibayev in class T11 with a guide leader Ibrahim Irlan and Islam Salimov in class T13 performed in the staff of the national team in track and field of the World Games. Gibirtayev and Nurlibayev took part in the competitions of such a level for the first time.
Эти игры у меня уже не первые, то есть в 2007 году я выступал уже в Бразилии.
These games are not my first ones. In 2007, I performed in Brazil. There were 5 to 6 places, but I tried for perfectionism. The results are growing and the fruits of constant trainings are felt as we won medals in the World Games. But we should understand that the main start this year is the World Championship. All the leaders will be there who are especially preparing for this competition.
Это будет в этом году чемпионат мира, то есть там уже будут основные лидеры, там и олимпийские чемпионы, и чемпионы мира, и в общем, которые конкретно готовятся к этим соревнованиям.
Team of judo was presented by Anwar Sariev and Timirjan Hassan Galiyev in the weight category of 60 kilos. Kuralay Orinbasar and Samat Bimratov in the weight category to 73 kilos. Our sportsmen participated for the first time in such a high level and couldn't achieve a medal podium.
Главной целью является вовлечение.
The goal is to involve socially disadvantaged athletes in sports so that people don't stay at home and can start training. The main goal is to develop Paralympic sport in Kazakhstan.
Главная цель это развитие паралимпийских видов спорта вообще в Казахстане.
In the 60-year history of Kairat, there were a lot of duels and tournaments in which recognized grandees ground their arms before the Kazakhs. In 1962, in the 3rd season of its presence in Class A of the Soviet football, Kairat gained a victory over Moscow CSKA, 5-time champions of the USSR at that time. And the win was undisputed with a large amount of scores and being guessed. On the 22nd of July at the Moscow Stadium Dynamo, 50,000 spectators were present. Most of them were anticipating an easy victory over the CSKA guests. But Kairat had its own opinion about it, offering uncomfortable football for their opponents based on the onward passes and long spurts in the penalty area. The guests put the host into a dead end. In the middle of the first time, Oleg Maltsev opened the score. In a quarter of an hour, Sergei Kvochkin doubled it, and a minute before the end of the first time, Vladimir Skulkin scored. The spectators didn't see any goals in this meeting, 3-0 in favor of Kairat. The staff of Kairat at the beginning of the 1960s was able to do many things. Next year, after the memorable victory over CSKA, Almaty footballers reached the semi-final of the USSR Cup.
Попасть в Кайрат, это была тогда, это не сейчас. Тогда, знаете, ребята, Рожков Сережа вообще.
To enter Kairat, not now. At that time, there were such guys as Roshkov Sergei. He is a god. They were really young talents. Baishakov, Ordabayev, they were all talented boys.
Володя Евдокимов, Боря, конечно.
In the season of 1963, 188 teams of Class A and B fought for the Crystal Trophy. Kairat started the 1/16th final. The first opponent of the Kazakhstani team was CSKA from the sports club of Leningrad Military District. The only goal in a hard game held in Neva was scored 3 minutes before the end of overtime. It was into the gates of the host. In the 1/8 final, Kairat won Zaporizhzhia Metallurg in Alma-Ata 3-1. The take of Oleg Maltsev and the goal of Vadim Stepanov brought some success for the Kazakhs. Moldova became an opponent of the Kazakhs in the quarterfinal. The meeting in Chisinau completed in a draw, 1-1. The goal of Kairat was scored by Kvochkin. Under the rules of the tournament, a rematch took place on the next day, in which the only goal of the same Stepanov decided everything. After 2 days, the exhausting battle in Chisinau, Kairat had a serious opponent in the semifinal. The winner of the National Cup in the last 2 years, Donetsk Shakhtar. Between the quarterfinal and semifinal in Chisinau on neutral ground in Yaroslav, Kairat had 24 hours. The same Kazakhstani footballers spent most of their time on the road. The semifinals of the USSR Cup were the best result Kairat had in the history of the tournament. We had such a good team, we were not frightened of anybody, Spartak, CSKA, or Dinamo. We were not afraid of anyone. If we lost, we would never lose with big scores. On visit, we were sometimes killed with money, and all of them were the students of our school. This team was really characterized with a fighting spirit, and there were such players in the staff of the team. Many of them can be itemized, beginning with the goalkeeper, Ordabayev, Sigizbayev, Stepanov, and Pochkin. It was always difficult to play with Kairat because the team had character, its sign, its manner, and of course, its traditions.
Кайрат хорошие очень традиции были. Традиции Степанова, традиции Стаса Каминского.
Kairat had good traditions of Stepanov, Kaminsky, who played before us. They were fighters, and Kairat had a fighting spirit. They might not have had some technical performers, but it was the team of fighters who were never scared.
Технических исполнителей, но эта команда бойцов была, она никого не боялась.
Interesting relations have developed in the Almaty club with Tbilisi Dinamo. Statistics seem to be evidence in favor of the Georgian club, but there were games when they attacked Kairat. Not a stone was left of the famous Dinamo defense. For example, on June 10, 1974, at the Central Stadium of Almaty, Kairat crushed Tbilisi Dinamo with a score of 5-0. At the end of an hour of the game, Vladimir Chibotarev scored, and at the beginning of the second half, it was time of Anatoly Ionkina, who, from 56 to 61 minutes, upset the goalkeeper 3 times of Gogolgidze Guest. A line under the defeat of Dinamo was put by Chibotarev, who applied for a double in the 69th minute. For many years, this victory will be the largest in the history of Kairat. A hat-trick, Ionkina will remain in history as one of the fastest in the USSR championships, 3 goals in just over 5 minutes.